All right, guys, welcome back for another video. There's some interesting price action in Bitcoin going into the weekend. I want to talk about that briefly and kind of revisit some of the ideas we've been talking about for a while. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you've been looking at this chart for weeks, if not months. So I do want to drill down on the lower time frames and focus on those. Primarily, pay attention to the quarterly opens as well. Now, I mentioned here the quarterly opens are generally serve as a pivot in the market. You saw your quarterly two Q2 closed right here, and then Q3 opened 1st of July, and then you get a change in behavior, a different trending move, and you actually see the same exact thing here, right? So um, now this, you basically have a downtrend, right? When this low is broken here, you could put an X right there, and this is your break of market structure, and then you get a short squeeze up into that break of market structure, but still you characterize this as a downtrend basically with a short squeeze tucked in there. And then you get your quarterly open after the FOMC meeting in September, and get October 1st Q4 start breaking above the highs. We can mark this off right here, mark this high off right there, whether using that high or this high. You can see price starts moving above the highs, comes back in the range, takes a few stop losses out, but generally what you see is after this Q4 open, this quarterly pivot, price does change its behavior and starts running to the upside, right? And we're seeing a new trend play out, right? So if you are a trend trader, right now you have higher lows and higher highs on the daily, right? This low here is higher than this low, right? Price ran up, started breaking the highs, came down, set in a higher low relative to this low, and now you have higher highs as well. Price came down, tested back into that high, and then pushed up, and now you're seeing continuation. So trend traders, would probably just have had their model verified very recently, so they may not be in a trade currently, but momentum indicators will start moving around, and you'll start to see that type of shift occurring, right? And that kind of falls in line with people who are maybe positioned short, managing risk and closing their positions, and that just kind of adds rocket fuel to the fire. Um, Now I have this 320 BTC long position, or excuse me, 340 BTC long position from the FOMC lows down here. Really great entry. I had a short. I still have a short hedge. So I just want to talk about how I traded this. So I actually, you can see this blue arrow here. Um, when price broke above, broke up, right? If we look at the 4-hour chart, when it closed, or excuse me, broke above here on this blue arrow right there, this test down into this level here, this high right there, I actually closed half of the hedge right there. So, and still have half on, but you know, it's kind of in the position now where I was worried about. So just to revisit my invalidation, I was looking at these highs right here and these lows right there. And if you watch my previous video, I was looking at this, looking at this level very intensely, saying, if we got a 4-hour closure below this low right here, that I would start managing risk. But ultimately, we didn't get that 4-hour closure. Price came down to that level, tested that level, rallied off it, and now is creating new higher highs. So that obviously that didn't play out. So we got a different type of behavior playing out. So rather than adding to this hedge in that scenario, I'm going to be looking to take off risk, and I've already taken off half of the hedge, but given the opportunity, I'll pull the rest off. Uh, Now, conversely, right, things could break down, but I think this is pretty solid behavior that you're seeing on the weekly chart. Remember, let's see, we've got a weekly breakout from this range right here. The weekly price came down, confirmed bullish RSI divergence right here, breaking above. Now, of course, when price was trading down here, it didn't look great. It looked like this was a fake out. We've certainly seen that before. You know, most notable one up here where price broke above and then broke down. But we're not seeing that right now, right? We saw price come down, and if you look back here, roughly price tested back, roughly whether you're using this high or whatever high, your price basically tested back into, whether you're looking at this high or this high, you got a retest of that level, better seen on a weekly chart, and then you get continuation, right? This is indicative that, you do have a significant bottom being put in right here. And, price is probably going to continue higher, right? We've got a confirmed daily uptrend. If I just go back and revisit the quarterly open, let's see where that is. Now, let's go back to the Coinbase chart. So you've got this quarterly open, right? And the reason why I mentioned quarterly opens is I like to use them as an anchor for the left side of my chart. That's because, if we were to look at the weekly chart, right, it's very easy to get caught up in the, you can be standing back and looking at this and saying, well, there's just so much resistance above us, right? I mean, you can almost feel the gravity of all that price action above you pulling down on you. But that's just not the right way to be looking at things, right? We want to be looking at things from the perspective that, okay, if something new is happening, then okay, we're identifying that that's happening. And then we, at that point, we don't want to pay a lot of attention to historical price action, right? Because you got your quarterly Q4 open right here, October 1st, and something different is happening, right? So yes, historical price action is important. Price will probably react off, significant historical levels, especially significant historical highs or lows. But, getting hyper focused on those levels is going to, not serve you very well, because that's what everybody else is doing, right? They're paying too much attention to that, and they're not paying attention to the things they need to pay attention to, which is what's happening right now in the market. And what's happening right now in the market is, we've got a clear change in behavior from that quarterly pivot. This is not the time to be looking for resistance above. This is the time to be, managing risk on a short position, particularly. Now, of course, I need to caveat that with the idea that anything can happen at any moment, right? I mean, price can obviously reverse, but this is a game of probabilities. So, a lot of people at this phase of the market are caught up in the fear of, yes, but price could go lower. And, they will always be confronted with that reality, right? No matter where you are in the market, yes, price could go lower, right? But we're playing a probability game here. The risk-adjusted return and probability for price going lower relative to going higher is a lesser probability. In my opinion, of course, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. That's how I'm playing this. I'm taking this trade. I got this 340 Bitcoin position open, and I will hedge it when I have the opportunity to hedge it. But right now, I think this is a clean break, and I had a hedge going in this consolidation in case this was a swing failure pattern, but I think now it's actually time to pull those hedges and, just enjoy a winning position for the time being. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. If you guys do like the video, please make sure to leave a like on the video. And if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure to do that, and I'll catch you guys